T-Man 978 Chill Review.
Hello everyone, T-Man 978. I typically open these guys so quick I never show them in the packaging, and they look definitely alluring in the packaging. There you are. It's Autobot Jazz, of course. That's what you saw when you clicked on this. And now, let's get him out of here. Here is Jazz out of the packaging on his backdrop right here. It's the same backdrop that comes with Ratchet and Starscream. Of course, this one's smaller than Starscream's because it's a deluxe list. Plain cardboard on the back. Nice material. Okay, here's Jazz. Now, I'm not gonna have a rack of comparisons. I'm gonna have some comparisons, but relevant ones like other Jazzes from different waves or different toy lines. No, they're packed up somewhere, and I don't feel like killing myself. I drive myself crazy holding these reviews back because I don't have pertinent comparisons. Meanwhile, I am so far behind, and MGO probably reviewed this thing like 2 months ago, and he compares everything to everything. But getting to this Jazz, because he's important, he's the one you clicked on this video to see. It is nicely friggin' painted. The whole car exterior is painted silver, and even his arms are painted silver right there. Now, where they got cheap at, they didn't paint any of this body or his legs silver, just this part right here, and they left everything else just the plain gray plastic, and they didn't paint this. But all the car frame definitely is silver, and then the lights are very vibrant. You see how that's picking up light, and this blue plastic right here, nice. He is very well articulated. He just doesn't have a waist joint, and to be honest with you, right here, if they would have filled that in, they could have easily put a mushroom peg on there and made this dude swivel. That would have been awesome. But since he's so small, they were able to fill in the normal waffles, as you hear, and we don't have to worry about any of that crazy hollowness. He just looks like a Transformer. Bad thing, this stupid backpack. If they were able to make this lift up on top of there and have this spoiler up here and rotate, he would have been more movie accurate. But yeah, I still like this. His head is on a ball joint. Unfortunately, this panel that his head rocks on doesn't lock into place, so you kind of like have to tilt the head at a certain angle because the ball joint goes down into the body, but it can tilt and turn 360. The shoulders have like 4 freaking joints up in there, so he can go forward and backwards, go out, come in a little bit, double jointed elbows, ball joint, and a hinge right there, so the arms can go up. The wrists don't swivel, but he has these weird 4 fingers anyway, so that doesn't matter. And on this side, they gave him a regular 5mm port like he's making a fist, so I guess if you want him punching people, that would be good, but they didn't even need to do that. They did that because this gun actually has a handle on it, and he can actually hold it. Maybe they did that so he can hold other people's weapons, but for his own weapon it doesn't matter because both of these hands rotate and bring out this peg right there. And you just peg this in either direction you want. But let's get back to the articulation. Hips go all the way out. You can kick up that high, kick back this far, moving the kibble out the way. Thigh rotation, knees bend 90 degrees. They actually have like a dedicated ankle pivot right there, which is nice. And there's nothing else really. The foot can do that, but that looks a mess. Even the ankle pivot kind of looks disjointed, but it still works. And if you're clever like me, and since you're watching this, you're going to be clever like me, detach his upper torso, and now he has friggin' ab crunch, or a fake ab crunch, which works for me. so he can kick up high and whatnot. You can look down at lesser beings like this little Michelangelo right here. Hey, dude! Yeah, and he can also rock due to transformation, so you can go crazy with fake articulation if you want, and I want. One thing that's tough for me to show off is his face because of his color, but I've never liked Jazz's face on the movies. It's hard to even describe when you're looking directly at it. It's almost like he doesn't even have a face. I can kind of see a mouth a little bit, but what is that? I can't see his eyes. So yeah. And here's what you're working with as far as the back of his head. Just to show you, he has those long heel spur, but they're really optional. His feet are good enough to the point where you don't have to pull those down. Size comparison, here he is next to Optimus Prime. Here he is next to his wave mate, Lockdown. So here's a preview for him since I gotta review him next. And here's a comparison besides your typical deluxe size. So as you can see, he is a very small deluxe, but he's covered in paint because of it. And he has a lot of engineering for a figure this size. The only place I can say that there's any type of hollowness on his body is just that butt piece right there. Anything else, it's due to transformation. So I'm cool with him. I like him. I wish they could have did something better with this, but just like this dude right here, I don't pretty much pay attention to his back, so I'm all good, to be honest. Transformation, of course, pull this out of his hand and lift that like that. Put it off to the side. Put both hands in this orientation right there. Kind of plug that into there like that. Plug this into there like that. Detach his body. I usually try to grab at that. Stretch all this. Bring this out, bring that up. The feet, these heel spur, and these heel spur come off a little bit easy. But lift these out there on a double hinge. Now bring this right here, this knee joint forward, and bring that up like that. Knee joint forward, bring that up like that. Now these don't peg into each other. You would think they would, but they don't. And now we need to accordion this stuff up like this. And it is very imperative that you tab these tabs into there. And there is a clear tab up there that needs to go into the back of his butt. If you do not have those right, you will not be able to transform this guy properly. Anywho, I kind of like to have the legs out of the way when I'm attaching this right there. And now we can squeeze that up. Now we can bring these up here. Get them into place. My finger was doing it accidentally, but I pushed his head in there. If you don't want the head showing, you could turn it around and then place it in there. Rotate this around. And now bring this out, rotate this, put that into place. And basically squish the shoulders under here and make sure these little things are out of the way of the hands. Squish all this into place and shove that into there. Same deal over here. Now if you do not have the rear like I said it should be, when you go to tab this into place, nothing will stay together like it's supposed to. It'll be a open gappy mess back here, but yeah, I'm not saying that it will still be perfect. Come on now, I have had problems getting that in, but now here he is. He's a tiny Pontiac Solstice. Come on now. Okay, this little tiny gap right there, it's gonna drive me crazy. I've transformed this thing like twice, and it was never like that before. So I don't know what's going on right now. I untransformed this arm and transformed it back, and it's still like that. So I'm just gonna move on. But as you can see, he is a tiny car. I know my hands can sometimes on film make every figure look small, but he is a tiny, tiny car. And he's cool. I like him. He rolls awesomely. This little tab right there, you're supposed to groove under here. And now it sits there like that. Weapons storage. Here he is next to this guy, since I have him up here. Oh, this is how big he is next to a Masterpiece car. Here he is next to a Masterpiece Bumblebee. Maybe that's accurate, I don't know. Here he is next to two G1 cars. And here he is next to some other Deluxe cars. So, as you can see, he is very tiny next to these cars. Like, these robot modes, they're in scale in robot mode, but they're definitely not in scale in vehicle mode. The only thing he could possibly be in scale with a little tiny bit is Ratchet, because he's too small to be in scale with anybody. But I think he's even too big to be in scale with Ratchet. So all in all, besides me not being able to get certain tabs to look neat, no matter what I do, I actually like it, and I think this is cute. It's something to carry around in your daggone pocket. I like that they painted the tail lights. We don't normally get that. And like I said, the whole frame of the car is painted. There's this blue hue on the windows. That stuff is painted. I like it. I'm cool with it. Reverse transformation, I usually try to bring the door down a little bit. Come on. And I'm trying to be careful because this is that silver paint that scratches. Then I try to bend this down. That seems to be the easiest way. When you... Come on now. Maybe just... I'm gonna be unorthodox. I wanted to do it in a certain order, but this stuff seems to be in the way. I need to get that out of there and get that out there. Now we can rotate this. Bring the arms, the shoulder joints all the way out. Bring this up and rotate that around. Bring up the head. Bring down the arms. Bring out the hands. Bring down the arms and the hand. Come on, you. Look up. Look alive. Bring all of this down and attach it to there. Unaccordion the legs and bring that up like that. Now we can fold this down and bring that down. He's done. Now if I have any complaints with his body or design, his feet should be a little bit more pointy, and because of the transformation, that needs to be flat as possible because the wheel is right there. His feet can't get any longer. So I'll complain about that. And then I long for things like double jointed knees and frickin' a waist rotation. But one thing that helps the double jointed knees is stuff like this, so that he can get his legs up high and I can still get him to dynamic-ish poses. But overall, I like him and I'm happy with him. And this is my favorite Deluxe so far. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Follow me on Instagram. Maybe at some point, if I ever dig out those Jazz figures I didn't compare him to, I'll post a picture at some point. on Instagram. So just follow me on there. I like to post random crap on there. Until next time, T-Man978, out of here.
Click the videos. Click the fucking videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos. Click those fucking videos, baby. Click the videos. You really should click those videos. Click that shit.